Hey Kevin, do
Hey,
you
Alan.
do you remember what was the best gift that you received on Christmas?
Oh boy, that's a good question. But you know what? I probably gonna have to go back to the original Game Boy that I got. That was my first console that I got as a Christmas gift, and I think that was probably, I don't know if I could say it was the best one, but yeah, it was definitely one of the best ones, that's for sure. Because I played the heck out of that little system. I didn't have any other consoles at the time, not even a NES or anything of that nature. I had, the old Commodore 64C that I played some games and stuff on, but that was my first real, I guess you could say, console. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Game Boy.
Well, though I thought hard about it, like thinking back of the gift that I remember, I was gonna say actually one of those Megazords from the Power Rangers.
Oh, whoa!
uh,
Nice.
yeah, like obviously the Power Rangers have different like seasons and generations, and I remember I was so hooked with the Power Rangers in space for whatever reason, and they had this Voyager Megazord that was like an ensemble of different space like robots or ships that came together and obviously make the Megazord. And I remember getting that box and open it, like unwrapping the paper like a maniac, like, oh, what is it? What is it? And when I finally see it, I was so ecstatic about it. I play the hell out with those toys because obviously you can move the pieces like the Transformers kind of a deal,
Yep.
and put the ship. It was like a rocket, a spaceship, like some like voyage sleds or whatever. Some made the like the feet. The rocket made part of the legs and the torso, and one of the ship was like the arms and the part of the torso as well. The other was the head, and I was like, "Oh man, this is so cool!" And part of the rocket was also like the weapon that was a missile that it launched. Actually, it
Nice.
had like a spring that went by, and it's like, "Whoa!" And even though, yeah, I received a Game Boy, a Super Nintendo in later years, and of course I played the hell out of them. I was so in love with the notion of like the magic of asking for something and receiving it. And I remember that that's like the first memory that I have, like something that I asked for and got a big. Prior to that, it's like, hey, what do you want for Christmas? Maybe an X-Men, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, or
Sure.
the action figures, But it was like, oh, cool. I asked and something received, but man, I don't know why that one was so special.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's I, mean, I had a lot, a lot of stuff that was always special to me, for around the holidays and stuff like that. I still fondly remember a lot of the Transformers that I would get, for Christmas, and those were always fun to play with and whatnot. But it's it's funny as you look back on it when as you get older and stuff like that, and it's and the nostalgia. It's so cool to really just sit back and think about. I always remember now. I was going to go into a little bit of a tradition. Now we always went to the so be, being from New Jersey, we always drove into New York City after Christmas and went to the Rockefeller Center to see the Christmas show. And I always remember driving into the city, but I was always in the back of the car, usually playing with one of the Transformers and stuff that I got.
That's
Did you?
cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Did you have any specific traditions that you did when
Wow.
on a regular basis? I know the holidays is typically families have probably more than one tradition, but
I was gonna say, yeah, we had a lot. I guess the whole season from the get go in Puerto Rico, for a lot of people, started just after Thanksgiving. Like people already are celebrating Christmas. I guess in a similar tone here as well in the States. I don't know how many people actually declare that Christmas starts after Thanksgiving or just after. even
I
after
think,
Halloween. I mean, I'm not
yeah,
sure.
I think it's Christmas starts when the stores want it to start.
Well, I guess there's that viewpoint or mark of reference, but at least I always remember, like right after we had turkey, yeah, it already felt like Christmas, regardless where we started decorating early or around the year. But as far as specific traditions that we had in our house, podcast or two ago, I think I mentioned there was always music around the house, and especially on that time there was very particular music that was in correlation to the festivities that my father used to play. Like there were an ensemble of collection or artists that he reserved for that season. For example, Ismael Rivera, a singer from Puerto Rico. He had a few vinyls that were Christmas songs that he sang. He always used to put those alongside. Like there's someone very particular for those that are from Puerto Rico will know Jose Noguera. He's also an artist that is very. It's become a bit of a meme, I guess. I don't know where to call it because some people said that it's not Christmas if Jose Noguera hasn't released like a song for the
Okay.
activities. Uh, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess some people think it that way. But aside from music, food, like I always waited for Christmas. Like, yeah, the gifts are cool. The festivities, everyone kind of agreeing to be on peace to some extent. Like if you had a different with someone, it's kind of let's kind of a truth. It's Christmas. Like it's on a let it go kind of a deal. But I was waiting for the food, man.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about I guess traditional food here in the States. Obviously, I'm still getting familiar with it, but something that is very particular to us. I guess you could make it all year round, but for Christmas, it's always like rice with pigeon peas. You could either get like pork cutlets. It could be fried. It could be lechon a la varita. It would be like the pork roast kind of a deal. We also
Okay.
have like pasteles. That's a type of custard, I guess would be the word to describe it. A friend of ours, when we used to work together a year or two ago, I got some pasteles from my dad that he sent over the mail.
Nice.
And they're mostly made from taro root, plantains, and a lot of people have different mixture for the custard, but either they put chicken, pork, or other inventions that they want to put in it. We also got something called morcillas. It's basically a sort of a blood sausage that is made with rice. The thing that you hate, cilantro.
Oh boy, can't have that, man.
Obviously, you can make it without the cilantro. Garlic pepper. Some people make it more spicy and some are less spicy. But yeah, that was like the main entries and the dessert as well. Oh man, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh man, I've been so long here. I haven't had any of these. We also got like desserts, arroz con dulce. It's a sort of a dessert that is made with either coconut milk, rice, raisins, cinnamon, vanilla. People use either white or brown sugar. We also got like tembleque. Again, it's like cornstarch with coconut milk, sugar. And oh man, I'm just thinking about it. I like, as far as tradition goes, I was always waiting for the food.
Nice.
Do you have like any sort of particular like desserts or main entries that you guys used to make for the seasons?
No, I mean, when I was younger, there probably was, and some of the stuff I can't really remember too much. I remember more, or I know more, obviously, the stuff that we do currently, with some of the desserts and whatnot, but nothing, weren't real big, specifically on the desserts and whatnot. It was more just like the Christmas cookies kind of deals, where either they were homemade cookies or they were purchased from the bakery. aside from that, it wasn't. No, we weren't real big on the desserts. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you want to look at it. I know Thanksgiving we always had the traditional pumpkin pie and stuff of that nature. But for Christmas, what we would do and back home was we would always alternate between my aunt and uncle's house or my house, my parents' house. Every other year it would switch. So, but the food and stuff was more or less your traditional turkey. Sometimes maybe a ham, and then sometimes maybe like a prime rib roast. But for the most part, it was your traditional turkey dinner, and with all the good sides and stuff like that. Very similar to Thanksgiving and
I see.
whatnot. Yeah, so it was definitely enjoyable. Much more traditional than I'm sure what you had. So, but it was definitely good. I always look forward to the good meals as well. So can't go wrong there.
And as far as the Christmas music, I guess for some people that's a bit of a topic as far as some people get bored or tired of the Christmas music. Some people avoid
Yeah.
it like the plague. Like in your case, like do you, when it's the season, do you listen to Christmas music or you don't care at all?
Yeah. No, you know what? It's kind of funny because I'm one of those weird people that I actually quite enjoy the Christmas music. I enjoy it obviously during the Christmas time. I don't listen to it any other time, but I enjoy it quite a bit. I don't listen to it nonstop, but usually maybe in the week coming up to Christmas or whatnot, I'll maybe have some, maybe put on one of the stations in the car that is playing Christmas music all the time and whatnot. But I'm more of the I don't like any of the really like the newer Christmas stuff. I like all the old classic Christmas music. The Bing Crosby and Burl Ives and the older classic songs that you usually hear every year. I always really enjoyed those. So
What
yeah,
what what's what's the name of that song? That I think that's the only one that I can enjoy because but I don't know the name. It's like the first day of Christmas, my love gives to
oh
me.
yeah, the 12
Uh,
Days of Christmas.
so that's quite literally the name of the song, 12 Days of Christmas.
12 Days of Christmas. Yeah.
Okay. The five golden rings. Yeah, that's the only one that I remember parts of it.
Yeah.
But obviously, some of the others, I don't know what it is. I just started listening to it, and they're so different to obviously to what I grew up with.
Sure.
Because as far as traditions also go, something that my father used to do quite a lot is we got something called Parrandas, festivity or activity that you go bother your neighbors. I don't know where to put it that way, but initially, let me explain myself. Initially, you will go with an ensemble of people playing instruments like panderos. Usually, it's a kind of percussion instrument made out of leather.
Okay.
And either someone will have like a cuatro. It would be a kind of guitar that has 10 strings. It's
Okay.
maracas and güiros. We will go to someone's house and play, and basically you will keep playing in front of someone else's house until they open and let you eat and drink.
I'm gonna go ahead and try that tonight.
So that's how it started also many years ago, but how we actually did it, obviously we went to a friend of my father's house. It was in Barraza, which is a sector of a town in Puerto Rico and Carolina. They were all the friends that my father made along the years, and obviously family, friends, and it was very cheery. Again, waiting for the food.
Of course.
And they would play, man, they would play until 6, 7 a.m.
Oh
And
wow.
there was a part of me when I was younger that, being completely transparent, didn't care for it because obviously I fell asleep. I mean, being,
Sure.
being, being a kid. But obviously, as the years went by and started getting more and more involved, I tried to start learning to play the instruments. I can play one rather okay because each different pandero, like the percussion instruments, have different sizes, and depending on the size and how it's tuned, obviously it has a different sound, and depending on how you're mixing the percussion instruments, that's how you make the parranda.
Okay.
And I remember that after a while, it was such a long trip that father, instead of going to his friend's house to give the parranda, because my father not only played but he also sang. Like everyone was waiting for my father to go, so he sang because he has a beautiful voice. And I mean, I guess I'm I'm being very subjective, but I'm proud of his singing voice. He would also write and compose the very same songs that he used to sing on the for the activities. As part of the tradition, he started then, oh, you know what? I'm tired of going to someone else's house. I'm gonna do it at my home. And then after I was maybe older, like 12, 14, like within that time period, I remember that then we started be the ones to make the food, receiving people. I remember assembling like wood tables on the yard, and man, I remember it was so full. I don't even know how in the space that we had for my house, like, it was a rather small yard. There was so many people. I remember that being surrounded by a lot of people. Again, like everything, it was a phase. There was times that I was on my room that I didn't want to go out. Like it's like, oh man, everyone's in my place, and then everyone will get in my room, and it's like, well, but why are people getting in my room? So no matter where you were in my house, you were gonna get someone talking to you, or sharing the activities. And after so many years, though, definitely, I really enjoy and adore like those memories. They're very cherished.
Yeah, same with me. It's a lot of I always enjoy Christmas time. I know a lot of people don't. It's one of the the times a year that I actually really do enjoy. For some reason I just always really kind of enjoyed the whole Christmas holiday. It's just it's part of it is just the whole aspect of the just the whole season, the people being maybe more happier than normal, and just the whole the atmosphere, the music, and stuff like that. I don't know. I just kind of enjoy it. I know a lot of people that kind of like frown on it and look down on it, but to me it's an enjoyable time of year. And like you said, the memories are something that you really always cherish, and especially when you're younger. But I think I probably like it even more as I've gotten older, just because I really enjoy being able to give stuff to other people, or I just exchange gifts with my parents, but I always make it a good point for me to try to make sure that I find some unique stuff to get them every year. So I look at that as a little bit of a challenge, and it's always it's a little stressful sometimes, but it's always quite fun too.
Oh, giving gifts, yeah. It's hard giving gifts, and I'm not the person that is hard to give, because I'm thankful for whatever I receive, either in an exchange or just a present.
Sure.
Um, Obviously, that's now. I remember receiving sweaters when I was younger. And a sweater
And socks.
and socks. now,
Socks.
now it's like socks. Oh yeah, I can throw away those socks that have like 3 years with me.
Yeah, you're calling up your parents and your mom and going, "Hey, can you get me some socks for Christmas, please?"
No. Yeah, some me socks. No, yeah, I also enjoy the festivities. The only, well, after obviously moving here to the States, it's been different, because obviously it's not the same people, it's not the same activities, and it's been weird, I guess would be the word, like the past maybe 2 years or so. Especially living on a part that there's no many people that I immediately know. I kind of enjoy it by myself. I might get an invitation or two, to go and grab dinner, and very thankful for that. But it's not the same. unfortunately, it's the kind of a season that as time goes by, you also the memories can be good, but also the memories can be do the other thing as well. As also made you sad that obviously people pass and they're no longer there, and obviously you're remembering what you used to share, and not to make the conversation too sad or whatever, but it's just a factual truth of, I guess, what eventually ends up happening as time goes by.
Well, it's a tough time of year for people, and I mean, I'm sure it's a tough time, maybe a tougher time a year for you as well, without your father, and I know it's going to be tough for me when I lose my parents as well. So it's always I didn't have my grandparents for as long as a lot of other people do. So I don't have so I always kind of look back at the memories that I spent with my grandparents and whatnot as really cherish those memories because
Yeah, being thankful.
exactly. So but I mean, I think it's probably a good thing to kind of reflect back, and especially if the people that you spent that time with enjoyed the time of year as well, and that they still want you to enjoy it, as even though they might not be around anymore. So
Yeah, but I definitely sorry for the sad note, but it's also it's also just that a time for remembrance and
yeah,
being thankful. I guess that's something that as time goes by, and you may say made the comment like on a passing, but like, oh, Christmas starts when the businesses and commerce dictate that they start, but I guess it should be good to always remember that Christmas is not always about buying the most expensive gift, or
it's not at all.
it's quite literally spending that time. If you cannot spend it together with someone that is meaningful to you, at least maybe throw yourself out there and help people around you. And there's always
Yeah.
someone that doing the smallest thing that can be meaningful. Maybe there's a lot of campaigns for donations that usually go about, and you maybe donating $10-$20 to one of those foundations, either for meals, for clothing. It can be something meaningful, and maybe you don't have to know the person personally, like to a T, but if the act of making someone else day maybe a little bit better, I guess that would be something to share. Like if everyone helped each other, I guess that's the the message. But
Yeah, no doubt.
I feel that we shouldn't let the buying the newest console or the newest Pandora or the new Gucci or Nikes, like forget about the brands and start to paying more attention to the people, I guess.
I agree 100%. I mean, hey, you know what? Who doesn't like getting gifts and stuff like that? From personally, I would still enjoy the entire holiday just as much as I do now without the gifts. That to me, that's just one of the just one of the small aspects of the holiday. Like you said, I think the holiday it should mean a lot more. It's spend time with loved ones, with your family, with your friends, and hopefully you can, if you have the ability to help out other people, then and doing that as well, and whatnot. But just the entire ambiance, if you will, that's what I really enjoy the most. And I think for me it kind of starts right after Thanksgiving. Is typically when that's when the decorations kind of go up. So I try to make sure I kind of try to want to slow down the month of December because it goes so quick. And I get the whole down of being down after the holiday. I get that holiday downer, if you will. So that kind of sucks. It's just like it's nice because you get to spend the whole time with your family. Usually, you're not working quite as much, and then it's almost like you get hit with that, back to reality kind of thing, and you gotta, well, the whole year of stuff, is going to be piling up until you get to enjoy it, But that's part of the whole thing too. So
I guess you, in a way, would then love the Christmas in Puerto Rico because we not only celebrate the Christmas Day on the 25th of December,
yeah,
but we got a series of celebrations, one right after the other, that our Christmas almost ends at the end of January, almost the start of February.
oh wow, nice.
Yeah, that, I was gonna
I like that.
I was gonna ask you because, like I mentioned, close to Thanksgiving, either some people might start right after Halloween, but
Yeah,
right, kind of at the norm, if you want to call it something like that, it would be just right after Thanksgiving. People will already be putting like their trees up. The people that obviously decorate with trees. I get a bit on that later, but we usually have a very either intrinsic or is very influenced by the like Catholic influence on the Christmas that we celebrate, and obviously there's a lot of celebrations that go like going to the church and having what we call a misa. It's like a short congregation. It starts like with Misa de Aguinaldo, and we have the day before Christmas. Christmas, we got the Misa de Gallo. We go then we obviously put the saying goodbye to the year as part of Christmas as well as receiving the new
sure.
year as well. Then we also celebrate the Three Wise Men Day that is on January 6th.
Okay.
That kids not only get gifts on December 25, they also get gifts on January 6th.
Uh-oh.
And
Don't
usually,
let that spread to the United States.
because usually for Christmas, obviously you get the presents for the 25, and on January, at least when I was growing up, that was the case. I don't know how much that had changed along the years. The Three Wise Men, you would go and rather gather like grass for the camels that the Three Wise Men were riding on, and gonna give you gift depending if you had grass for the camels. So you could also not only get grass on your house, you could go to your grandparents and also gather grass and put it on your grandparents and your uncle and everywhere else that you had left a box with grass. You were supposed to get a gift.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have a funny story with that. And
Hmm.
after the Three Wise Men, we also got something called Las Octavitas. That is close. Octavitas as in 8 days, but it has become even 16 days to this point after the Three Wise Men that people go to the streets and either go to the capital or different places and are also celebrating with music and festivities as well. Yeah, so you got all this time. Basically, everything falls within Christmas. So the downer for us, I guess, is a bit of delayed effect that we've been celebrating for so long that it ended up being almost February. I guess with the influence of people, more companies like going private and obviously having different policies and all that, I guess it has become something more of a. Because I speak with my mother, for example, and she works on a sector of the government that obviously they end up very late their Christmas, so they're almost very close to Christmas working. And after the Three Wise Men Day, they're very close to starting to work again. So that time period kind of has been shrinking and shrinking down as less from the work perspective, or you being able to take the days off.
Right.
But yeah, that's how long we like to celebrate and party.
I'm good with that.
Uh,
In the United States, it seems to be like it's almost like almost literally the day after Christmas. It's just boom. They go into like New Year's stuff, and then the day after New Year's, boom, it's over. It's That's it. That's what it feels like to me, anyways.
yeah, that's the feeling that I get the years that I've been here. That right after Christmas, or yeah, when you receive the New Year, that Christmas is over. Get to
It's
work,
over.
people.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, get to work, and that's it. No more, no more. It's funny. You'll see a couple commercials for a couple Christmas commercials still hanging around, but it's amazing how quickly they take them off the air. It's nuts.
So this next section, if you're someone younger and you're still expecting to receive gift from Santa, please don't listen to the following section. I don't want to cause any, be responsible causing any damage or psychological trauma with the next comments. So
I was gonna go into this as well. So
I was gonna say, for me, when I was growing up, we didn't. I wasn't expecting Santa Claus. I was expecting Jesus Christ because the 25th of December is Jesus Christ's birth, and
Okay.
how it was celebrated in my household. It was the Jesus Christ baby, quite literally, was the one giving us the gift as a appreciation and celebration for his birth. It was when I started sharing that story with my classmates at school that, wait, Santa, but it's Jesus Christ that brings the gift. No, it's Santa Claus that goes through the chimney. But I'm like, I don't have a chimney. So all the contradicting information, obviously a small child starts putting things together.
Yep.
Obviously through that sharing of information, like I told earlier, we also celebrate the three wise men. And I remember me making the effort to staying awake to see the camels and the three wise men to prove all these kids wrong, kind of a deal.
Sure.
Obviously that was for January, not for Christmas. It was kind of because they're kind of close together. And I see the silhouette of someone in the dark moving ever so slowly with the packages, leaving them, because obviously it was not like on the living room or wherever. You left them like close to your bed. So when you wake up, you saw the gift at the feet of your bed. So and I see them leaving the packages and taking the grass that I left and going out so slowly. And I'm like, that wise man looks a whole lot like my father and mother. Okay. And the next day when I wake up, I say, I'm excited that there are gifts there. But then I see the trail of grass kind of going out because obviously they kind of made it so you could see the trail.
Right.
But then following the trail, you see the grass like thrown over the fence. And I'm like, oh. And to be quite honest, it's a bit of heartbreaking when you found out. Also, when other kids are mean and just tell you outright, like,
Right,
yeah,
right.
it doesn't exist. And it's like, man, I guess kids can be cruel because they're sincere. And I guess it's not that the cruelty comes out of the fact that they're sincere. It's that obviously people and how they take the news or something that it is as it is and not as they want it to be.
Right.
And I remember like finding out, and I tried to keep the notion that I didn't know for maybe a year or two, but it came to the point
okay.
that obviously my parents kind of found out that I knew. So yeah.
Right.
So did it happen something similar to you? Like, do you find out through your friends, or do you actually caught your parents in the act of leaving presents?
Neither actually. I questioned it because I was one of those types. I was like, wait a second, something doesn't make sense here. But so we were on vacation. We went to Florida to visit my grandparents, my mom's parents. They moved from New Jersey to Florida when I was young. And so we went there one year over Christmas. And Santa Claus brought presents under their tree in Florida. And then when we got home, he also brought presents under the tree in New Jersey. And I was like, wait a second, why did he bring them 2 times? So I started questioning my parents, like, this doesn't make any sense. Shouldn't he have just brought them all where we were? Or here at home? Why is it both? And they owned up to it.
Oh, they didn't try to come up with an explanation or kind of a stand. They just okay.
I think they probably started to, if I remember correctly. They started to, and I kept calling bullshit on it, and they were like, yeah, Then they kind of explained it to me. I don't remember it ever really like affecting me as far as like being upset or anything. I was just like, because it was, to me, it was just like, this doesn't make
So,
any sense.
so I was a bit upset, but I don't know where to call that I was cheeky enough or smart enough to keep it quiet, so I keep receiving gifts, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because obviously it goes to a point that, you found out, then no more gifts.
Well, what was funny is now that I knew, once I knew, then I got bad. Okay, I got bad to the point where I would know, I would wait for my mom. She would go do the shopping and stuff like that, and then I knew where she would hide the gifts, and then I would go and scope them all out beforehand, because I was like, and if she called me, she would get pissed. But so I would have to wait, I'll wait till they maybe go out or whatever, and then I would go and scope them out and stuff like that. So I was kind of bad when it came to that.
So when I found out, I tried to figure out where they were hiding the gifts, and it was not until much later that I asked, when obviously it came to light, and quite literally they hid it under the bed.
Nice.
Yeah, but you would think, oh, but you can look under the bed. No, because the bed that my parents had in particular, it was like a platform kind of a deal that had like wood tables running across, and you had to lift the mattress, lift the wood, and you couldn't see through the sides, so they hid that under there. And obviously all the work that you need to do to kind of put it together. I was looking in closets and
Oh yeah.
storages and every single between clothes in wardrobes, and no, it's nowhere. How do they do it? But yeah, it's not until they told me. So
I would have put in the work.
in the work.
I would have put in the work to find those gifts.
Oh, put in the work. I guess,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, I guess I didn't want to make a mess of the times that I had the opportunity, because obviously if I was looking, moving the mattress, moving the wooden table for it will make sound. It would be, okay,
Oh yeah.
putting it back exactly as it were. No, that would have been a bit more conspicuous, I guess.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was my mom. I think my mom ended up just giving up and didn't hide them anymore. But yeah, I found them out no matter where they were. So I was sneaky like that.
So I mentioned earlier about the Christmas tree, and something that is very particular to our
Hmm.
home. I was allergic to the pine tree,
Oh, okay.
so they didn't buy trees for home. My mother ended up doing. She would do one of those macrames with green linen, or the kind of a yarn they use for that. She would do like a segment of different rings, one smaller than the other, and she would sew them together so it made the appearance of a tree hanging from the ceiling.
Mm.
And it was made out of just clothes, like it's not. I'm trying to look for the word. If you look for macrame, you look for what they do, like those quilts or that they design with needle, kind of a hand sewn. That's what she did, and
Okay.
she would decorate a small under the tree. Not only the decorations for the tree, but we also used to include like a small representation of the birthing of Christ. So obviously, it would be like the Virgin Mary, Joseph, the small kid, the small Jesus Christ with like the animals that were present. And
Sure.
usually because the three wise men were so close to it, when it was time for the three wise men, she would go and get the decoration for the three wise men and put them closer together to obviously give the impression that they were coming by. And it was very small details, but it was a lot of creativity from my mother that obviously we weren't able to get a tree because I was allergic to it. She went through the hoops to make it so that it was still special, but obviously through her creativity and handwork to still feel that there was a tree present and all the decorations were about.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I mean, that's you really can't get much better than that. That's really cool. When I was growing up, we always looked down on people who had fake trees, right? We always had to have the real tree. So we would go to the place.
Kevin, I had a fake tree.
Oh yeah. We got fake trees now, so don't feel bad. So but that was like part of the whole tradition as well. We would go to this place back home in New Jersey, and it was where it was just basically all the pine trees, and then you would pick out which one you wanted, and you would put like a tag on it, and then they would go and cut it down, and then tie it up, and then put it on your car for you, and then you would bring it home. And it was pretty cool because of the you had to, sometimes you would get to trees that would dry out real quick and it wasn't too good, but for the most part, you have to put the water, keep giving it water and all that other good stuff. But the best thing about the real tree, well, not the best thing for you, but the best thing for me was the smell. It was always really cool because you always had that pine smell. Obviously, you would not particularly care for that, but when we moved out here to Arizona, no more real trees. It's too dry out here. It's too warm and too dry. Is more difficult, and it's just, let's be honest, it's a pain in the ass. So you get a fake tree and you put it up every year and you get a lot of good use out of it. So but yeah, we were hardcore real tree folks back home.
Yeah, I was a weird kid, I guess, growing up, as far as I had a bunch of allergies. I was allergic to eggs. I was allergic to pines. It's like all those things, as the years have combined, either I had developed like a resistance or immunity or whatever, because obviously I'm no longer allergic to pines.
Sure.
And I can eat eggs now. But part of the reason that obviously she went through all those hoops or to make it authentic, it was because of my allergies. But
yeah,
I don't know what. I guess the change of seasons, or especially back in Puerto Rico because of the humidity when it gets colder, I always were to get sick either before Thanksgiving or after Thanksgiving. I don't remember a single year that I wasn't sick, some shape or matter, and I had my sinuses like acting up, or I remember it because it's sad that I'm waiting for the food and not being able to taste it. It's like,
right.
Oh man. But all in all, I'm thankful for everything that had happened until this date, all the memories, the friends that we share with, and I'm thankful for everyone listening in, and I hope that you get to spend these days in peace, hopefully a warm meal in your table.
Definitely, I couldn't have said it better myself. It's a good time a year, and I really hope that everybody is able to enjoy it. And like you said, with your friends, family, loved ones, anybody, if you can. Hey, you know what? Even if you're riding solo out there, just kick back and enjoy it as much as you possibly can.
Of course. And well, unless you got something else, Kevin, I really wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Definitely. Yes, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays to everybody, Happy Hanukkah, and all the other great days that's out there. So enjoy.
Take care, everyone.